Hi everybody, we are getting ready to make some cowboy candy. We have an abundance of jalapeno peppers and we have made jalapeno salsa and we have hot bath some in some vinegar, and now we're going to try cowboy candy. So this is my first attempt at making cowboy candy. So I have about 20 to 25 jalapeno peppers here, and I'm getting ready to cut them up as per the instructions. And after that, I'm going to make the mixture that they have to boil in. So I'm going to cut these up and then I will see you in a minute. Okay, I have diced up my jalapenos right here. I'm going to show you what I did. And I wore gloves because the last time that I diced up jalapenos, I don't really like to have stuff on my hands when I'm cutting, and that was a huge mistake because my hands literally burned for 3 days, which I knew better because I had made that mistake before, but I'm very stubborn. But today I wore some extremely oversized gloves and struggled through cutting that. But my hands are not on fire. So what I ended up doing was I cut off all the stems, and I don't like the tips, so I cut those off as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get some of the seeds out, and then I'm going to put them into the mixture that the instructions gave me. Earlier I had said that there were only 20 peppers there. I must still be on vacation with my brain because we actually had between 40 and 45. I'm doubling the recipe to try to make enough worth hot bathing. So hold on just a second and I'll be right back. Hi, okay, so what I've done is I told you I've chopped up all of these jalapenos, and I went ahead and I put all the ingredients out. I am following this recipe, and it calls for 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, and since I doubled the recipe, I have 4 cups here. It calls for 2 cups of granulated sugar, so I doubled, and then 2 cups of brown sugar, tightly packed, so I doubled it. So 4 cups here, 4 cups, 4 cups. It also called for a teaspoon of turmeric, and I doubled that, so I have 2 teaspoons of turmeric, which is, sorry, I put a pesky fly in here. All right, and then it also called for a teaspoon of garlic powder. So again, I doubled it, and it called for celery seed. It was 1/4 teaspoon, so it's now, a 1/2 teaspoon. And it also called for some cayenne pepper. I don't have any cayenne pepper. It's like the only spice I don't have on hand. But what I ended up doing was I didn't take a whole lot of the seeds out. So this is going to be pretty hot and spicy. So that might make up for my cayenne pepper. I'm actually just going to go without it and see how it turns out. So stay tuned. Okay, here's the solution. The jalapenos have been added to that solution. I had to bring it to a boil, and now I'm going to let it simmer for 4 minutes. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so I have taken the jalapenos out of that solution I showed you. I have managed to get really 4.5 of these, but you can see it's kind of got a coating on it. It's really neat, and I wish you could smell it through the video, but it smells fantastic. So now what I am doing per my instructions is I am putting the solution back to boil for 6 to 7 minutes. I chose the 7-minute side because I had a lot of solution. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to heat up my lids to get ready to hot bath these guys. So while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to heat my lids up to hot bath, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay. These are my lids, and this is my favorite pan for heating my lids up when I'm canning or hot bathing. As you can tell, I have 5 minutes left on my timer. I want to show you this sauce that I'm going to put. Ooh, look at the stain. Yeah, so there you go. That's the sauce. Hold on, guys. I'm trying. There you go. So that's your sauce. We're going to put that over our jalapenos when we're done. Still steamed up here. So the lids, I do not boil my lids. Some people, canning is very controversial. Some people are like, you gotta boil them. Some people are like, don't boil them. I'm gonna do what my mama taught me, and I'm just going to simmer these lids. They're clean, And then I'm going to wipe the rim of my jars with a vinegar. And that way it makes sure that there is no extra bacteria on the rim. And I don't do that until right before I put my lids on. When I transfer my lids, I do not touch the insides of my lids or that rim. And then we start hot bathing. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, we are back. We have put our lids onto our jars. I have cleaned the rims and put those lids without touching the inside of that lid or the rim. We have attached that lid. This is one of my hot bath canners that I have. It's my favorite hot bath canner. And whenever you can something, you want to make sure you have it on some type of a barrier between the bottom of the pan and your jar, because that can cause your jar to bust. And you definitely don't want that. All right, so I'm gonna lower this in. With this hot bath canner, these flap over these handles, and I can't really control that, but it's okay, it's not gonna hurt anything. So I'm gonna put all the way in, and you're gonna want, watch my finger, you want about 1 inch to 2 inches of water above your jars. I only did about it doesn't look like much, but it's about 1 inch, inch and a half in here, mostly because these are smaller jars. So you're gonna do that, and then I have my burner on high, and I'm gonna cover this up to keep my heat in. And once that starts boiling, I'm gonna hot bath that for 15 minutes, and I will set my timer from when it starts to boil. I don't set my timer right now, it's when it starts to boil. So stay tuned, we'll see the finished product soon. All right, our timer has just ended, and Alex, if you could kind of squeeze in here a little bit, you can see the boiling is going on. I'm gonna pull these out. The steam's hot, but I'm gonna grab it like this, and I just tilt it just slightly to get that water off, and I set it right here. And that looks really nice. All right, so the issue I have with my favorite canner is that this arm likes to come down, so I just kind of maneuver a little bit, grab another jar, tilt it, get that extra water off, set it down. Once I set it down, I don't like to touch them anymore until I hear that right there. Did you hear it? That is music to my ears. It's a ping. I've heard one, I got 4 more to go. Struggling with this last one here. There we go. Okay, so that is our Cowboy Candy. This is my recipe. I got this from bellyful.net. There's another ping. Candied jalapenos. Hopefully this is going to be, turn out well. I did leave out the cayenne pepper, but we will follow up. I'll get Alex to try this stuff out and see what he thinks, since he loves jalapenos. And just a side note, in my hot bath canner, one of the things I like to do with the water when I'm done is, sounds silly, but I don't pour the super hot boiling water down the drain, but I let it cool just slightly. And I will put vinegar and baking soda in my tub drains, because my kids don't know how to keep hair and gunk out of the drains. So, another ping. I will take this water and I will chase the baking soda and the vinegar down the drain with it, and it helps to clear up our drains. So we try to recycle as much as we can, and that is a great way to use that water instead of just dumping it down the sink. You could still dump it down the kitchen sink. I just don't like to do it when it's scalding hot, because I don't want to mess up the pipes. But I do it when it's fairly warm. But anyway, stay tuned and we'll give you a follow-up to the jalapenos and how they taste. Thank you. Okay, here is the final product of our Cowboy Candy. It's a little sticky, and obviously with all the sugar. But what we did was, we didn't have any Ritz crackers, so we just used plain old club crackers, and we took a cream cheese spread, put on the cracker, and then we put the Cowboy Candy on top. And we're gonna have Alex test it out. We gotta get his face in case he actually doesn't like it. He's thinking. A long time.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. And it's hot. It's starting to get hotter.
All right, so what would you give that out of a 1 to 10 scale?
Probably, when it comes to hotness, probably a 9, at least for me anyway. And then for how good it is, I mean, it's pretty good. So 7 or 8 on how good it is.
Good. Awesome. So that's a win-win for our Cowboy Candy. Oh, yay, we're excited. Any other thoughts?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, thanks for following along. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you in the next video.